Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, another domino in our food security as a world falls. What I'm going to go over with you today explains how some of the biggest producers of rice in the world are expecting to have lower yields this year because of, that's right ladies and gentlemen, the cost of fertilizers. Global rice production set to plunge 10%, threatening half of humanity. Now, I think that this title is a little bit hyperbolic in a way, because I don't think it's going to threaten half of humanity. I think what they mean here is that probably most people in the world use rice as like their caloric filler, right? Their caloric sustenance, meaning that they know it has a lot of calories, it actually has a little bit of nutrition, and you can live off of rice, maybe not forever, but for an extended period of time. And here he says, farmers in China, India, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and Vietnam, the largest rice-producing countries, could experience reduced output due to soaring fertilizer prices. And I have been pounding the fertilizer problem that we're having. I have been pounding on that for a while now. I started talking about this before it was in the mainstream media, that we are having a problem with fertilizer, and fertilizer equals food. The International Rice Research warns that harvests could plunge as much as 10% in the next season, equating to about 36 million tons of rice, or enough food to feed a 500 million people, ladies and gentlemen. That is enough rice to feed everyone in the United States. Think about it. Put that in perspective, all right? And then some, actually. Chemical fertilizers such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are the most applied nutrients for high-yielding rice. Farmers have been particularly vulnerable to soaring prices, as some have reduced the amount of nutrients to save on costs. This threatens future harvests as production declines, could stoke food inflation for a crop that feeds half of humanity. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it may not mean too much to you or I to go to Costco and see that the rice that you normally buy has gone up by more than 25% in just a few months' time. But to people who rely on this grain for half of their sustenance, if not most of their sustenance, it means everything. Let me ask you this question. Where do you think that delta, or where do you think that difference is going to come from? It's not going to come from anywhere. That's why that video that I put up on Janet Yellen, I was asking, what are you all going to do, Mrs. Treasury Secretary? What are you going to do in order to make this better, this food crisis that you're talking about better? Print more money? Because it doesn't matter how much money we print, ladies and gentlemen. There's still going to be a decline of 10%. And those are calories that are going to be taken out of the mouths of the poorest people in the world. And in fact, that is also going to increase the prices for everyone else. So let's say, for example, that the difference in the rice that they're not consuming now comes from wheat. What's that going to do? It's going to put upward pressure on the price of wheat. It's going to mean an increase in price on many other commodities, not just rice. They continue to say, Humath Bandari, a senior agriculture economist at the Institute, said that 10% drop in global rice production is a very conservative estimate. Now, they're being conservative with that 10%, which means it's probably more. He said if the Ukraine conflict continued and fertilizer prices remained high and supply limited, then the decline of rice output could be even more severe. This may trigger a full-blown food crisis, similar to the one that the UN has been warning about. You need to heed this warning, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I am not Chicken Little. I mean, I'm definitely not little. All right? I am not chicken. I'm trying to bring a little humor into this. But in all honesty, it's a very, very serious issue. You need to heed the warning. Are you going to wait until it comes to your doorsteps before you actually act? Think about self-defense. You can defend yourself against what's coming in the form of food shortages now by getting it now. Just like you can defend yourself against the wolf before he knocks on your door by getting that boomstick now. training with it, having ammunition for it, and all that stuff now. Food storage is self-defense, ladies and gentlemen. It is self-defense. Just think about that. Russia and Belarus are big suppliers of every major crop nutrient, so of all types of fertilizers. And Western countries have sanctioned both of them, which have limited fertilizer shipments to the rest of the world. Sanctions don't work, ladies and gentlemen. They only hurt the people. Crimping supply and why prices are soaring. On top of this, Moscow has reduced or halted fertilizer exports. The owner of a fertilizer shop in Vietnam's Quang Giang province said nutrients costs have soared threefold over the past year, forcing farmers in the region to reduce fertilizer use up to 20% because of rising prices. When the farmers cut fertilizer use, they accept that they will get lower profit. Bloomberg outlines a significant problem. Unlike most crop prices, the price of rice has gone down, not up. Get it now while you can, ladies and gentlemen. All right, because I can show you, just go back to a few videos back, I don't know, a week back or so, where I show you that the rice that I get is more than 25% increase. More than 25. I think it was like 35% increase. All right, so if you can buy it cheaper now, if you can buy it cheap now, heck, if you can buy it now, buy it now. Which will compress farmers' margins even more. And here it says, diverging fortunes. Rice prices have fallen in the past year, unlike other major crops. And here it says that Thai rice has gone down 15%. Man, I'll tell you what, I wish I could find that rice at negative 15%. Governments across Asia have kept price under control to maintain social order. Some countries offer generous fertilizer subsidies to farmers to keep yields plentiful. There's only so long, ladies and gentlemen, that printing money is going to help. For example, India will spend $20 billion this year to shield farmers from soaring nutrient prices, up from the $14 billion budget before the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And then the gentleman also says, it's inevitable that price of rice will go higher. It has to be reflected somewhere, meaning the input costs that they're putting into growing the rice. Maybe the world is in the beginning stages of a food crisis and could worsen next year as crops of all sorts could experience harvest declines because farmers are spreading fewer nutrients due to higher prices. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, for those of you that can't see it now because maybe you have the funds to be able to absorb a 20, 25, 30% increase in whatever it is that you buy in order to eat, if you can absorb that, that's great. Then prep up now. If you can't see it, it's more than likely because you can afford it. But most people that are working class and poor, they've been seeing it for months. So stock it up now. Global food prices will remain at record highs as forward-looking markets expecting tightening supplies in 2023. This will give rise to continued social unrest as the dominoes fall in the weakest countries. And we will see it in the weakest countries first, and we are seeing it. Lebanon, Peru, I think Brazil was having riots as well. So Pakistan, all of these countries, they will see it first. But eventually, ladies and gentlemen, it will come home to roost. If you think that this channel is about being Chicken Little, then ladies and gentlemen, have the best life that you can. Don't waste your time watching stuff that you think is nonsense, all right? And if you think this is nonsense, that's okay. I respect your opinion, and I hope that you have a great, great day. And remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.